Today, I'm testing something pretty awesome. It's a leg-mounted exoskeleton called the Hypershell X Ultra, and I'm hoping, in fact I know, it's going to help me with this hike. So the idea is that it takes some of the load off your legs while you're running, hiking, or even cycling. And today, I really need it. I will be completely honest though, when I first heard about Hypershell, I thought, it all looks a bit sci-fi, a bit weird. Is it complete nonsense? So, I thought let's take it to somewhere I know very well, which is the Cotswolds, and a walk I've done several times to see if this thing helps. I really hope it does. Tell you what, immediately, this is easier. Now, when you think exoskeleton, you might think Iron Man and some huge thing that you have to strap to your body and that gets really annoying and that is really heavy. That's not the case with the Hypershell X Ultra. Battery isn't heavy either, and the entire thing folds up nice and neatly, nice and small, to fit into pretty much any backpack. Most of the frame is made from aerospace grade carbon fibre with titanium on the load-bearing parts, so it's strong enough and tough enough even for these rugged conditions. Ah, what a lovely morning, and what a lovely, easy piece of kit this is to use. What a segue that was. You turn it on here, and you change the settings here as well, but you can do it on your phone and your Apple Watch, so you don't have to get your phone out while you're doing lots of tough hiking like this. Onward. So, what does the Hypershell X Ultra do? Well, it's not a cheat code. Okay, it's a bit of a cheat code, but the basic idea is that it helps increase your power and your performance without you having to put less exertion in for certain tasks. As you can tell, I'm still out of breath, I'm still working. At this point, you're probably wondering what on earth this thing does, which is a fair question. Basically, these things that go on your leg, they're powered by a motor, and as you walk, the motor kicks in, and it just gives you some assistance. It's a little bit like the bikes, you know, the electric bikes that have pedal assistance. It's a bit like that, but for your legs. And yes, when you first put it on, you do start doing this. And then you chill out, and it makes sense. And if you're wondering, yes, it does have some AI built into it because this is 2025, and that basically means that it can predict and adapt to your walking and your workout in real time. So if you're really climbing hard and it thinks you need just a little bit more help to get up that hill, it can kick in with up to 1000 watt of force to get you up there. For all you stat fans, I do have some numbers which I'll need to read out from my phone because I've got an awful memory. The Ultra X is SGS certified to reduce physical exertion by up to 20% when hiking and your average heart rate by up to 22%. Impressive. That went well. I tell you what though, joking apart, you really notice that on those uphill sections where I'd normally be way more out of breath, and the key thing is for me is, can I still film while walking uphill? And back then I could. There's also 12 different intelligence modes, including something called Running Plus, which I have turned on now and will hopefully help me stay consistent. I didn't mean to run past the camera then. Will hopefully help me stay consistent with this form of exercise. Happy days! And if you're wondering how that works, Running Plus mode basically gives you more aggressive assistance. So during takeoff strides and, you know, when you're really gunning for it, really going fast like this, I can change the level of assistance on the device itself, so I can do that. And then, particularly when running up very rough terrain like this, I'm not joking, this will sound a bit silly, but it feels like you're floating, like you're flying. Not flying, but it feels like you're floating. I never feel like I'm floating when I'm running. And I can still talk, I can still film. This is a revelation. The exoskeleton just gives you that help with your stride. It makes you feel lighter. It's still me running, but it's just a little bit easier. And if you're trying to get fit and you're new to running, this will really make those first few runs much more enjoyable. Now, it's not just about running and hiking uphill. Downhill is where a lot of the problems can happen with your knees, particularly at my age. And I thought, well, let's use this big hill as an example of how Hypershell can protect your knees as well. Well, getting up here is very easy. Right, okay, that is a lot steeper than I thought it was. What Hypershell does is it detects when you're descending automatically and helps you reduce the landing force. And I'll tell you what, you can tell it's like a cushion. It's like, again, a helping hand. Don't fall over, Mark. That was easy. I know what you're thinking now. What about the battery? Surely this thing runs out in about 10 minutes. Nope. Now, obviously, battery life depends on how hard you're pushing it, but in eco mode, it can do 30 kilometers or about 7.5 hours, which is basically a full day's hike if you're a proper hiking superstar like me. In hyper mode, which is for really intense activity, you'll get about 5.3 kilometers out of it, or about 80 minutes. But you can always swap the battery because you get a second one as standard, and as you can see, it's small and very light. Yes, I know continuity, but I had to take the bag off to get this out and make this bit easier. And yes, every time I walk past the camera, I have to come back and pick it up. The things we do for YouTube videos. Oh, camera. It's really built for the elements as well, so it can operate in temperatures of minus 20 degrees C and right up to plus 60 degrees C. You don't get that in the Cotswolds in the UK at all, but if that is what it's like in your neck of the woods, you're in good hands. As mentioned earlier, there's 12 different modes for coping with different exercises and different terrains, most of which, in fact, nearly all of which I can't show you here because they include things like the snow mode for trekking through snow, dune mode for sandy terrain, and things like upstairs, downstairs, and even cycling. It's a really, really versatile piece of kit. So after a few hours with the Hypershell X Ultra, what do I think? Well, firstly, it's not about replacing the work your body should be doing. That's very important. But it does make it easier on your body to go harder and go faster, which means you've got less chance of injuring yourself, but more chance of getting fitter. He says, nearly falling over twice. It's like unlocking a new level of performance, and I tell you what, when you take this thing off, because I have worn it already and tried this, but when you take it off and then just walk normally without assistance, you realise how much strain your own weight is putting on your own body, if that makes sense. It's really transformative. So whether you're into your hiking, your trail running, your cycling, or you just want to go further without damaging your legs, I really recommend Hypershell. I'm now a bit scared because it's gone very Blair Witch. What was that? Guys, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, you know what to do. I think I need to get out of here. What was that noise? What was it? Ah!